Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
What's up, boys and girls? It is finally here, the American Horror Story Season 7 Cult After Show. It is good to be back. Full disclosure though, when I heard that they were doing a series based on the election, I cringed. I think it's safe to say that regardless of where you fall in the political landscape, that, you know, it's kind of tiring to not be able to turn on a television or a radio station and hear the stories of what the alt-right did, or the extreme left, or whatever the fuck they're calling the lefties. Like, it's exhausting. I watch these kind of shows to get away from the real life bullshit. However, with this first episode, I have to tip my hat to Ryan Murphy because he's writing it in a very clever way. I'm not so sure where Ryan Murphy sort of lands on the political landscape. I feel like he might lean more to the left, but you couldn't tell by the way he was writing the show. Basically, he's portraying the utmost extremes of each side. You got the alt-right being portrayed by Evan Peters, who's playing Kai. I mean, he's literally playing this TV-humping anarchist, rubbing Cheetos on his face to portray his love for the president, being racist towards the Mexicans, throwing drinks at the lesbians, and showing that he is not afraid to use fear to control the people around him. And then you got the lefties portrayed by Sarah Paulson, who plays Allie, along with her wife Ivy, and they are portraying the literal stereotype of the left. They've got this overall mindset that everything must be protected, you gotta put up a fight for every single cause out there, and the word triggered was used several times in reference to their story. So it's as if Ryan Murphy's kind of making a mockery of both sides. If I can word this correctly, it's like he is writing each side to be exactly how each other side portrays each other, you know? Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. And then he threw clowns into the mix. Y'all remember that era last year where there was just clowns appearing everywhere? So basically, he's taking very recent real-life horror story situations like this and turning it into an even more horrific story. And I am living for it! So on Allie's side, this election triggers it triggers her phobia of clowns and also holes. I know there's actual words for them and I totally had them written down somewhere, but I've lost that piece of paper and I'm too lazy to go back and find it. It didn't help that her little boy is reading this comic book on Twisty the Clown. Hello, freak show reference. I knew he was coming back, but I didn't realize he'd be right there in episode 1, even if it was in the form of a comic book. I love when the seasons blend together like this, so it was cool to see him right away. And man, I gotta tell you, the supermarket scene, I mean, when Allie pulled up in the cart in the produce aisle and seen those two clowns going at it, I'm sure the first thing she thought was, seriously? Right in front of my grocery cart? You get it. And then clowns were coming out of the woodworks and attacking her. She ended up crashing her car in the parking lot because of a clown. I was convinced that she was having a mental breakdown all the way up until the clowns that were in the supermarket showed up in front of their house while the boy was being babysat. Which is a perfect segue into the next character I want to talk about, Winter. Or you can call her Winnie, but I think everyone's just gonna call her Winter. Winnie. So she appeared to be sort of an emotional wreck. She was definitely a Hillary supporter during the election. And Kai, Evan Peters' character, I don't know if he's her boyfriend. I haven't quite figured out how the two of them sort of mesh. But she has pinky swore that she is going to join his cult and create whatever movement we're about to see unfold. I'm not exactly sure what his game plan is. Clearly he's had his eyes on Allie and Ivy, and he definitely had a hand in planting Winter into their home. Like I said, they hired her as a babysitter for their son, and I think she's trying to recruit her son into sort of following in their footsteps. I'm probably wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let's call that my theory, and I want to hear yours. She's a pretty morbid babysitter. She's like letting him watch these horrific killings online, calling it a vaccination of the brain to prepare him for the world that it's about to be, which is deep as fuck, you guys. I was pretty shook by that scene. And so anyway, soon enough these clowns show up and they murder the family that's next door. The same family that was watching the election with Allie and Ivy at the beginning of the episode. However, here's the kicker. Winter is telling that little boy's parents that it was all in his head. Yes, the neighbors are dead. No, they weren't killed by clowns. I think for whatever reason they are trying to bring Allie to the brink of insanity, and if I may be so bold, I feel like that therapist has something to do with it as well. There's something uber slimy about the doctor. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Overall, I thought it was a fantastic episode. I need a rating system, and I think I'm going to make my rating system twisty. So I give this episode 4 twisty heads out of 5. The only reason why I didn't get a 5 is because we had to watch the first 2 minutes of Trump and Hillary clips, and I was just like, Not that I didn't expect it, but still. Again, I thought this was a very cleverly written piece of work. It has intrigued me to watch the rest of the season. I mean, I was going to watch it anyway, that's why I'm doing this after show for you. All I'm saying is that I might actually enjoy it. And actually, I think my favorite scene from that episode had to be when Evan Peters' character Kai was just on the streets and he sees this group of Mexican guys just chilling by their car. And he basically just attacks them with a piss condom, obviously just asking to get his ass whooped. And conveniently, someone was there recording just the aftermath of what happened. A group of Mexicans beating on a poor, helpless white guy, which I'm sure by the next episode will go viral in the world of American Horror Story. Thus, showcasing that media can be manipulated no matter what side you're on. Doesn't matter if you are in the world's biggest broadcast in the world or just a person on social media recording shit on their phone. Media manipulates. But listen, I am not here to give a lecture on politics. I am here to talk about the episodes and talk about the episodes I will for the next, I think, 11, 12, 10, I don't know, this series does it different every single time. I will watch till the end and I will review to the end, okay? With that said, if you like the video, give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, but only if you want to. I ain't gonna manipulate you into doing it. Join me. And with that said, I will see you guys next time.